Hey, it's Todd Burrier from toddburrier.com. So, you talked to all your friends already, right? And most of them didn't sign up and half of them told you were nuts, right? Good. That's good that you talked to all your friends. Because the fact is, everybody who's talking to people doesn't take them long to talk to their friends. I mean, seriously, how long did that take? What did you talk to? 5? 6? Let's be real about your friends, all right? We don't really have very many friends. I remember when I first got into the industry and I first got started, and they said make a list. And my list was what I considered my friends and family. I don't have a very big family. Virtually none of us left. And, you know, I made this list. There was 38 people on it. That's it, 38. That was my list. That's it. That's all the people. That's all my friends. That's all I know. And of course, that was the most brutal part of my list. I did sponsor some people out of that, even though I didn't really know what I was doing. That's a function of numbers. But then I went into doing stuff like running ads and spending all kind of money on cold market. This was a long time ago. There's a lot of better ways to do that these days. But the bottom line is I had that, oh, who do I talk to feeling, right? So first, let's understand that what's a friend? I mean, what is a friend? And does that really matter? No, it doesn't really matter. Even if you talked to your friends, you should. If you believe in what you have, you should make them aware of it. What they choose to do is up to them, of course. But we don't really have many friends in life. I mean, I'm very blessed. I have lots of great relationships in my life. But how many people do I truly call deep friends? And see, I base friendship on trust. And I base every relationship on trust. If I don't trust someone, I'm not in a relationship with them in any capacity. But when it comes to friends, right, friends are, you know, they say if you can count them on one hand, that's pretty normal. You know, so maybe I have 7 or 8 people that are incredible friends, right? There's never any mutual expectation except that we just care deeply about each other. I certainly have an enormous amount of friends and relationships, but a lot of that is predicated on things, right? And, you know, I read in a Darren Hardy book that the average person, only 10 people will die at their funeral. I mean, will die at their funeral. That's pretty bad, right? I had a funeral and 10 people died. 10 people will cry at your funeral, right? Which really tells you kind of the depth of those relationships. So if you felt like you talked to all your friends, good. I'm glad you did that. You have to do that, right? Because your friends will be the most pissed off at you in the future if you didn't talk to them and you go on and do what I teach long term and build a big business. Then they're going to be mad at you that you didn't think well of them. I had that experience early in my career. It was once I'd started to really grow and got past my brutal startup, I had a good friend who called me on the carpet on it. He said, "What's the deal, man? I wasn't good enough to call? You didn't think enough of me to call?" Oh man, that I'll never forget that. He was genuinely hurt, right? Because I didn't call him because I didn't think he'd be interested. That's a great, great lesson. And so, you know, in some of my trainings, like my Process 2 book in particular, I teach you exactly how to build a list. And in the Blueprint Process, I teach you exactly how to build a list. Because if you know how to do it right, you can build a massive list. You will never run out of people to talk to. If you really learn how to do what I teach right, you'll be able to go through a circle of influence multiple times. It's never an issue if someone has enough people to talk to. I ended up in a seminar 9 months into my career. 9 months into what is now, I'm in my 30th year. I passed the 29-year mark a month ago, and 28 of those full-time. And 9 months in, I went to a seminar where the guy was very successful, and he was clinical in his approach. Clinical, which is why I enjoyed him, because it wasn't about how suave he was or how much charisma he had. It was purely, he understood numbers. He was a numbers guy. And he did this exercise on how to make a list. Now, I have my own exercise that I developed, but it accomplishes the same thing. he showed everything too. He did a lot of guerrilla marketing and a lot of cold marketing, and I learned a lot of stuff from him that I implemented. But the biggest nugget I took away was, holy cow, I'm looking at the list the wrong way. You need to look at the list from the standpoint of everyone you've ever met in your life who could identify and recognize based on something you said or their recollection that you met before. That's a connection. And you might think, well, geez, I don't know how to talk to the person I haven't seen in 23 years. I can teach you that. That's easy, right? That's just knowing the right way and talking in the right fashion and treating people right. All you're looking for is if someone's open. You're not trying to talk them into it. You're not trying to be a super presenter. It's all about, are they open or not? And then for me, are they nice and respectful and honest? Because if they don't fit those criteria, I'm sure as heck not working with them. They can go find somebody else to make miserable. I'm looking for nice people. I can't teach somebody to be nice. They got to bring that. But nice and open is pretty much, that's what you're looking for. If someone doesn't respond nicely to you, okay, they weren't that category. They're out. It's not whether you got rejected. It's like, that's the wrong person for you. I mean, it's so easy once you get past all the head trash. This work is easy, super easy. You just do it. Doesn't mean success is easy, because that takes a while. It means the work to do is easy. So you got to make your list the right way. If you don't have a great list exercise, look at the process too, or go find a trainer that's got a great list exercise, because I get it. You can do a lot of great cold market stuff. I do that. You can do a lot of great social media stuff. I do that. Actually, I don't do any cold market anymore. That's not true. I did a lot of that in my career. I did everything you could possibly think of. I mastered every form of prospecting you could constantly think of, whatever it was, even though I hated doing a lot of it because I'm so introverted. But it didn't matter. It became about numbers and mathematics with heart. That's how this works. So if you've talked to all your friends already, that's fine. That you should have. But you really haven't talked to the people you know. If you're struggling at all with who do I contact, then you haven't really made your list properly. Make your list properly, and then when you work through it, and I teach this sequence, but I'll give it to you right now. When someone makes a decision, so you got the processes, approach, contact, which is the approach, then the contact, and then you have, are they open? And then so you have the information, which includes your story, which is the most important thing you have. And then the follow-up, and then serve, right? They get involved in some capacity as your customer or business builder. And then you repeat, rinse and repeat. And so what you have to understand is that it's going to be 2 and 10. If they have a need, it's going to be 2 and 10. And it's not going to matter anything else. It's not going to matter. So you just go through that sequentially, treating people the right way like I teach, and then you're able to go back. And so after a decision point, which is a not yet, if they don't get involved, they go into a folder, and 6 months later, touch them again. It's so simple, so simple. So I hope this was valuable to you at all. Feel free to share it. If you haven't got my 27 scripts, it will certainly help you in doing the prospecting part. And that will also then, you get a couple of blogs a week from me. I don't do more than a couple. I don't bomb your email. From time to time, there'll be an extra email to announce something like a free webinar or something that you can participate in if you'd like. But hope this is helpful, and you can feel free to share if you'd like. See you next time.